today I'm going to show you guys what products I use and what I have found that's best for me for oily skin. That doesn't, mean that these are going to definitely work for you. It's just I have like a combination oily, so sometimes I do get dry. I'm not really oily, but just from working with clientele who has oily skin, I've kind of found, like a good little combination of what works for them. And then as far as for me, so that way throughout the day, you're not caking up, you're not looking greasy, the makeup's not coming off from your oils. It's all about the way the skin is prepped and of course the products you use. So I already have moisturizer on the skin. I think that that's one of the most important steps. It doesn't matter what kind of skin type you have, it just is so important to take care of your skin. Otherwise your makeup is not gonna look super good without having a good base underneath of it. So just the skincare is so important, and choose your skincare based off of your skin type. I've showed my skincare routine a couple videos ago. That works really well for me. I'm still loving all those products. Clinique has some really good skincare. I don't think that you have to spend the most expensive or spend the most money to get the best results. I think there is some good things out there that you could find. Like all my stuff was less than 50 bucks, and I think that being on a budget and also having good skin is possible. Same way as having good makeup, it's possible with being on a budget, not having to spend the most expensive or the most for your money. But with that being said, so I already have my moisturizer on. The moisturizer I use is which one did I put on today? I go back and forth between like Clinique, the dramatically different one, which is for oily skin, and then the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which is amazing. That was on a little bit more of a pricier side, but Clinique is a little bit cheaper, and they're both amazing. So the next step that I would do is this Makeup Forever. This is the step 1 skin equalizer. This is mattifying. So and it's really tacky. So I don't put this all over my face. I would just focus it on the areas that I get oily, which for me are the T-zone. And yeah, I guess that's kind of it. So just massage it in and tap it. This is kind of like a blurring effect too. The other one that I found works good too. I don't know if it's technically for oily skin, like this is for mattifying, but the Benefit Professional, it's like a primer and a pore filler. So if you have big pores, sometimes that can definitely help oily skin too. So let that kind of get a little bit tacky and just push it in. I think that like the most important part too is obviously not only your products, but the way you're applying it, your tools. Obviously I don't recommend to put your foundation on with your fingers. I still know a lot of people that do that, just for the bacteria and other things that we have on our hands, and then touching our face, which is not the best, but also it's not gonna be like a really flawless look, which is the goal here too, is to be flawless looking and have it last all day and get your money's worth for your products, and just for to feel really good in your skin, knowing that you could do a full day without having to touch up. So 2 options to use. Today I'm going to use my Morphe sponge. I think this sponge is $10. You could purchase this online at Morphe, in the Morphe stores, because they're like going everywhere now, which is amazing. The Real Techniques one, which is the orange one, I've seen at Ulta, Target, probably any other like drugstore maybe, or I don't know. But those are the two where I've actually purchased mine, and I'm sure you can find them online as well. That one's amazing. And then of course the Beauty Blender, but it just depends on what price range you're looking for and what you want to try. I do dampen it and then I squeeze it out just like a sponge. Now the other brush I would use is my Morphe E31. This is a flat top kabuki brush. It's super dense, and this puts on product, like liquid product, really nicely. I don't always do it, but if I'm kind of in a rush, then sometimes I will use this one. And so far, this is the best foundation brush that I have come across. Now, another thing I was gonna say too is you're not gonna like ever catch me hardly using cream products. No cream blushes, no cream highlight, and no cream foundation. The only one cream foundation that I have found that works for me is the Hourglass Vanish Stick foundation. But I still don't wear it all the time. So all my products for foundation and concealer are mostly gonna be liquid, and everything is a powder. Powder blush, powder contour, highlight, everything. What I've found with the products that I've used that are cream is they don't last. I almost feel really like heavy in them, and I feel more greasy, where it's like one of those things I just can't wait to wash my makeup off at the end of the day. And when I just wear like my normal liquids and powders, I feel fine. I don't feel heavy or cakey. So, but that's just a personal preference. If there's any cream products that you found and you really like, and you have kind of like a little bit of oily skin, let me know. I want to try. Okay, so today I'm gonna be using my, I'm gonna use the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. This one is considered waterproof and sweat proof, and I wanna say it's tested for over a 24-hour wear. Since I have my eyebrows on, I don't want to wipe them away with the sponge. So normally when I do that first, I use my MAC 130 brush. This is a duo fiber. This is really great to blend your foundation. Whoa, a lot of product. I like that this one is smaller, so I can work in smaller areas, obviously without wiping away my brows or my eyeshadow. Another key thing that I thought about is obviously making your foundation look like skin. You could do that with full coverage. It's just about the way that like your tools, how you're blending it. I press really hard into my skin when I am using the Beauty Blender. I just want to make sure, like especially around the nose, that I'm just getting into all the creases. Next thing that I'm going to do is my concealer. This is my favorite one. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, shade Fair Neutral for me. Sometimes even on a day where I don't do like a full face of makeup and I just want like a no makeup day, I'll just spot conceal all over using this, because it's super thick, and if you shear it out a little bit, you can definitely get it to kind of be like a really pretty like foundation, I guess. So I just go under my eyes. You can go wherever you need, like wherever you need extra concealer. You know, follow what like the style that everybody does is a little bit like highlighting a little down the nose, chin, any like if you have redness around your nose, any blemishes, that's totally fine. Just don't use a whole lot. It's easier to add than to have to like make more work for yourself with like blending it out if you use too much product. So same thing for this. I'm just gonna tap it in, and I do bring it down a little bit, following like that V shape right here. And then I'll take whatever is kind of like excess on the sponge and tap it in. Just like that. Now, just to make sure that your concealer doesn't go anywhere, I find setting with a loose powder under the eye is the best and most like natural way to look. If you go in with a full coverage powder, I feel like it's gonna cake up and it's gonna settle more like in the fine lines underneath of our eyes. So I have not used the Laura Mercier one, which is super popular. I'm sure it's amazing. I have used a NYX loose setting powder, which I wasn't too fond of. I got the white translucent one. Definitely wasn't my favorite. The MAC mineralized loose powder is amazing. It just blurs out everything, and you just use it with like a little like a fluffy brush just to tap it in there and then like wipe it away. What my current favorite is the LA Girl Pro powder. This is HD high definition setting powder. I think there's a couple different colors. For mine, I use the banana yellow. You could go in with a brush, or I just make it easy and I just dip the beauty blender and tap the powder in. So I just set it, pressed it in really good all over, like at the under eye, and then sometimes I'll take like the excess of whatever is left on the sponge and I tap it like around the nose, just focusing on the oil, like the areas that I'm oily, just to almost give like a little bit of extra coverage right there and to give a nice base for the pressed powder to set on. So I'm done with that. And next is my powder to set the face, which I'm gonna go in with, well, it's no surprise, but the MAC Studio Fix powder. This powder is definitely my favorite as far as full coverage. This is a foundation powder in one. If you want to know the truth, the first thing I do is the little sponge that comes in here, toss it out. You don't need it. If you think about it, like I tell customers this all the time, you're dipping it in the powder and then you're putting it on your skin, which is soaking up the oils, and then you keep, you know, reusing it. Well, all that bacteria, you're putting it back on your skin. It's not clean. And you're putting it back in the powder. And sometimes if you notice like those rings, like the dark rings that the powder will get, that's from the oils going back onto the powder. So yeah, I don't think that's my favorite. I would rather carry around a brush, a powder brush, and just kind of do that. And plus with a brush, you get more of a flawless finish than the sponge. I feel like a sponge is super cakey, but maybe it's not like that for everybody, but that's just what I've experienced. So you can go in, this is a IT Cosmetics brush, just a really big fluffy brush. This isn't my favorite one so far. You can also do a MAC, sorry, I don't know what I was looking at. This is a 160, it's just their big powder brush. So this is just a little bit softer and the bristles don't come out as much as my MAC one does. So I just dip it and in circular motions, setting all the work that we just did. So this is basically my steps to full coverage foundation for oily skin. I'm gonna finish my face off camera real quick, my eyes, my lips, everything. And then I have a couple of products I wanted to show you guys just for like some other ones that I really love, and give you some more options so you can try. What's up guys, I'm back. All right, so I finished the rest of my face. If you want to know all the products that I ended up using, you can definitely go to my Instagram. I always list like when I take pictures of my look, every product I use, and I like break it down into what parts of the face, so it's super easy to know. So it's at Carissa Lee Beauty, and it's always linked at the end of my video also, so that way you can just go search it super easily. The last step after like all the makeup is done, of course, just to like lock everything in, I switch back between two options. The MAC Fix Plus, this is a prep and prime. So if you like, I didn't do it today, but you can prep your skin with this too, and like put it, you know, before your, like right after your moisturizer, just for a little hydration. It has glycerin in it also, so this will definitely help the makeup stick and last a little bit longer. They also just came out with these in like a glow, so they have a little bit of shimmer in them if you like that, and they're also amazing. The Gerard Cosmetics, this is like a little one. This is the Slay All Day Setting Spray. There's like different scents. This is the watermelon one. I think this is my favorite. This one's amazing. It kind of just helps set, lock the makeup, and you're good to go. And I like the little travel size because I'll take it with me and touch up if I'm feeling like I need that, or sometimes it's just nice on a really hot day for the summer. So I'm gonna spritz this all around, let it dry. All right, so this is the routine. So today I used the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof. I like this one so much more than the regular Pro Longwear foundation at MAC. The other one that's of course like a classic is the MAC Studio Fix. I don't feel like it's quite as much coverage as the one that I used today, but it's also really beautiful. It has a little bit of SPF in it, and it lasts a really long time also. And this one I think is 29 or 30. This one I want to say is 35 or 36, so just a little bit of a difference. The next one is the Cover FX. This one is the Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. I'm the shade N10 in this. This is very similar to the one I put on today as far as like texture and consistency. It's a little thicker, as like Studio Fix is more liquidy. So this one's amazing. I can't remember the price. I want to say probably $35, and this was from Sephora. The next one is my, like, I actually love this one. I think that they're remaking some colors or some formula changes, I don't know, but the Huda Beauty in my bottle is like a disaster. The Huda Beauty is so good. This is the Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation. This one is same thing, like from Sephora. I want to say between 35 and 40. And it lasted me a really long time because it's so thick. You don't need a whole lot, but I get compliments every single time I wear it, and I have not been able to wear it because I'm out of it and I'm waiting for them to restock, but so good. This one is a drugstore one, which I kind of wanted to incorporate those for you guys too. I don't have a whole lot. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and this is normal to oily. I don't know if there's one for like oily to oily, but what shade is this? Oh, shade 110 Porcelain. This is a little bit more of like a liquidy consistency, and this is probably like $10 to $12 at like any drugstore. This is really good. And then the next one, it kind of took me a little bit of time to get used to it, but I'm kind of learning to love it. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Full Coverage Weightless Feel 24-Hour Foundation. This is the shade 301 Classic Ivory. It's a little bit pinky for me, but it's not bad. The texture of this one, it seems like it's thick, but it's not. It's almost like a mousse like type texture. I don't know, it's like really crazy. But this is probably the same price as the Maybelline. I don't know if I said it earlier, but another powder that's really good, like the MAC one, is the Estee Lauder Double Wear powder if you want like a full coverage powder. I haven't found a drugstore powder that's like a full coverage, long lasting one that I absolutely love. I would rather spend a little bit more on the powder. Plus, these powders last me so long, especially when you're using them with a brush. You're not scraping out the product with the sponge and going through it faster. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm so glad I did this video. I hope it helped some of you out who have oily combination skin. And that's about it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me. It will all be linked at the very end of this video, so hang tight. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. Bye guys.